I never meant for the words to cut as deep as they did. "I don't need you, Daniel," I spat, the syllables trembling with a venom I didn't even recognize as mine. For a moment, the house went silent. He stood frozen in the doorway, keys in hand. His face pale as though someone had ripped the floor out from under him. His lips parted like he wanted to say something, but instead he just closed them, nodded once and turned the knob. The sound of the door clicking shut behind him was softer than a whisper, yet it split my world open like glass shattering. I told myself he'd be back. He always came back. But this time was different. Daniel and I had been married 8 years. We weren't perfect, but who is? We had our laughter, our rituals, our inside jokes that no one else would understand. I still remember the way he'd make pancakes shaped like hearts on Sundays just to see me smile. But somewhere along the line, life crept in. Long hours at work, financial stress, the never-ending routine of responsibility. Our love, once vibrant, had begun to suffocate under silence. And then he appeared. Ethan. Coworker. Charming, magnetic, attentive in ways Daniel no longer seemed to be. He'd compliment a new dress, ask about my day, listen with an intensity that made me feel seen. It wasn't supposed to be more than harmless flirting, but harmless things grow teeth when you feed them enough attention. The night it crossed the line, I told myself it was just a mistake. Just once. But once becomes twice, and then it becomes a pattern. Soon, guilt was gnawing at me every time I saw Daniel's tired face. His quiet faith that our marriage was unbreakable. And yet, instead of confessing, I turned cold. Pick fights. I made him feel like he wasn't enough, because admitting my betrayal would mean facing the wreckage I'd caused. So when he asked one evening, "Do you even need me anymore, Claire?" I lashed out with the ugliest truth hidden in my heart. "I don't need you." The morning after he left, his absence was a physical weight pressing down on the house. The bed was cold, the air hollow. His coffee mug untouched on the counter. I sat there staring at it, fighting the lump in my throat. I wanted to call him, to apologize. But how do you apologize for gutting the one person who trusted you most? Days passed. Then a week. Then 2. His silence became its own language. He hadn't blocked me, but he didn't answer my calls. No messages. No updates. Just nothing. Until one night, desperation drove me to his brother's house. "Claire," Matthew said, standing in the doorway, arms crossed, expression hard. "You should go. Please, I just need to see him," I begged. His jaw clenched. "You don't get it, do you? He's broken. I've never seen him like this." His eyes narrowed. "Do you even know what you did to him?" Froze. He just left after we fought." "I didn't." Matthew shook his head. "No, Claire. He knows." My stomach dropped. Cold sweat prickled my skin. "Knows what?" "That you've been seeing someone else." The world tilted. He found out." Matthew's silence was answer enough. I drove home in a haze, my fingers trembling on the steering wheel. Daniel knew. The man who once trusted me with every piece of his soul now knew I had betrayed him in the worst way possible. That night, I tore through the house like a madwoman, looking for signs of how he'd discovered it. My laptop history, my phone, the receipts I thought I'd hidden. Then I found it. An envelope tucked in his desk drawer. Inside, printed photos of me and Ethan at a hotel. My knees gave out. So he hadn't just walked away because of my cruel words. He walked away because the person he loved had turned into a stranger right before his eyes. Weeks stretched into months. I heard whispers from mutual friends. Daniel had moved into an apartment across town. He was working longer hours, throwing himself into projects, keeping busy. But what broke me most was hearing that he was healing without me. One evening my phone buzzed. It was a message from him, the first since he left. My heart raced as I opened it. "I'll be by tomorrow to get the rest of my things. Please don't be here." My hands shook. I typed and deleted a dozen replies before finally sending. "Can we please talk? Just once." The typing dots appeared, then vanished. No reply. The next day I stayed. I couldn't let him walk out for good without at least trying. When he arrived, he looked different. Stronger, colder. His eyes, once soft and full of warmth, were distant. He moved through the house like a guest, boxing up clothes, books, little pieces of himself. "Daniel," I whispered, standing in the doorway. He didn't look at me. "I asked you not to be here." "I know, but please just hear me out." Finally his gaze met mine. And the pain in his eyes was a mirror of my own. "You told me you didn't need me, Claire," he said, voice steady but sharp. "And the thing is, I believed you." Tears burned my eyes. I didn't mean it. I was angry, scared. I made mistakes, but I never stopped loving you. He laughed bitterly. "Love. Do you even know what that word means? While I was working myself to exhaustion trying to build a future for us, you were sneaking around with him." The silence after his words was deafening. "I wanted to tell you," I whispered. "No," he cut in. "You wanted to hide it. You wanted to keep your safety net, me, while chasing your thrills with him. You don't get to rewrite this." My lips trembled. "Can't we try? Please. I'll do anything, therapy, counseling, just don't give up on us." For the first time, his expression softened, but it wasn't forgiveness. It was pity. "I gave you every part of me," he said quietly. "My trust, my loyalty, my love. And you broke it like it meant nothing. There's no going back from that." I reached for him, but he stepped back. His voice was final when he added, "I don't need you, Claire." And just like that, he was gone. The house feels like a tomb now. His laughter no longer echoes down the halls. The bed stays cold no matter how many blankets I pile on. I keep expecting to hear his keys in the door, his footsteps in the kitchen, but all I get is silence. I scroll through old photos sometimes, punishing myself with the reminder of what I destroyed. His smile, the way his arm was always around me, the life we built brick by brick. I told him I didn't need him, but the truth is, he was the only thing I ever truly needed. And now he's gone, walking into a future where I don't exist, while I'm left drowning in the wreckage of my own choices. The cruelest part isn't that he left. It's that he left like I meant nothing, because after what I did, maybe I really did.